Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss what I'm about to share with you. This is one of those stories that will make you see Dylan Wang in a completely different light. Honestly, even as I'm saying this, I can feel my heart racing because what Shen just revealed is not only shocking, it's heartbreaking, and it really shows us the side of Dylan that so many people never get to see. Now, we all know Dylan Wang is this charming, confident, and insanely talented actor who stole our hearts in Meteor Garden. He always looks so put together, like nothing could ever shake him. But what if I told you that behind that smile, there's a past filled with pain, struggles, and moments so raw that even Dylan himself never wanted to talk about them? Well, guess what, Shen just broke the silence. And the way she spoke about it, you could feel the emotion in every word. So, let's start from the beginning. Shen and Dylan Wang go way back. Their bond started during the filming of Meteor Garden, and fans have shipped them ever since. But what most people didn't realize was how close they actually became behind the scenes. Shen recently did an interview. At first, it seemed like a casual chat, nothing out of the ordinary. But then the host asked her about Dylan, and something changed in her eyes. You could see this heaviness, like she was carrying something for years, and finally, she decided to share it. Shen said, "People think Dylan has always been strong, but I've seen the moments when he wasn't. I've seen the pain he tried to hide. And honestly, when I heard that, I froze. Because for someone like Dylan, who always puts up a brave front, for Shen to say that means it was serious." She went on to explain that Dylan didn't come from a glamorous background like people assume. He wasn't born into wealth or fame. In fact, his childhood was filled with challenges that most of us can't even imagine. There were times when his family struggled financially, and Dylan had to step up at such a young age. Shen revealed that he once told her he didn't even think he'd make it to where he is today because life was that hard. And then, Shen's voice cracked when she said, "There was one thing he shared with me that broke my heart completely." At this point, even the host leaned in, clearly sensing how emotional this was for her. She continued, "Dylan told me about the time he almost gave up. He said there was a moment in his life when he felt like no one believed in him, not even himself." Can you imagine that? The Dylan Wang we all adore almost gave up on everything. The guy who now walks red carpets, smiling for the cameras, once sat in silence thinking his dreams were impossible. And it didn't stop there. Shen revealed something that honestly made me tear up. She said Dylan was bullied when he was younger, not just once or twice, but for years. People made fun of him for dreaming too big, for wanting something more than the life he was born into. She said, "He told me how lonely it felt. How he pretended not to care, but deep down, it hurt so much." And I think that's what makes this so powerful, because we see Dylan now as this symbol of confidence, but the truth is, that confidence was built on scars, on nights he spent doubting himself, on tears no one ever saw. Now, here's where it gets even more emotional. Shen shared a story about their early days on set. She said there was this one evening after a long shoot when Dylan seemed off. She noticed he was quiet, distant, so she asked him what was wrong. And that's when he opened up for the first time. He told her, "Sometimes I feel like I'm not good enough. Like no matter what I do, people will never stop doubting me." Hearing that from him. I mean, we've all had moments of self-doubt, but to hear it from someone who now seems unstoppable is just surreal. Shen said she sat with him that night, and they talked for hours. She told him, "You're not just good enough, you're more than enough. One day, the whole world will see it." And wow, she was right. But even as his career skyrocketed, the shadows of his past didn't disappear overnight. Shen admitted that Dylan carried those old wounds with him for a long time. She said, "Success doesn't erase pain. It just makes you better at hiding it." And that hit me so hard because it's true for so many people. Shen also revealed something else. Dylan has a deep fear of failure. She said, even now, when he takes on a big role, he worries that he'll let people down. He pushes himself so hard because he never wants to go back to that place where he felt like nothing. And honestly, that explains so much about his work ethic, his passion, and why he pours everything into every role he plays. At this point, the interviewer asked Shen why she decided to share this now. And her answer? It gave me chills. She said, because people need to understand that behind every smile, there's a story. And sometimes, the people who look the strongest are the ones who fought the hardest battles. Wow. Just wow. And you know what? It makes me respect Dylan even more. It's not easy to go from being a kid who felt invisible to becoming one of the biggest stars in the industry. That takes resilience, strength, and a heart that refuses to give up no matter how many times it gets broken. And here's the part that really got me thinking, why did Shen feel so strongly about this after all these years? She could have stayed quiet. She could have kept Dylan's past locked away like a secret between friends. But instead, she chose to share it, and honestly, I think it's because she knows how much people out there need to hear this right now. Shen mentioned something that stuck with me. Dylan always says, if my story can help someone else believe in themselves, then it's worth telling. That hit me so hard because it shows what kind of person Dylan really is. He's not ashamed of his past, he's not trying to hide it because it wasn't perfect. He wants people to know that struggle is real, and success isn't just about talent, it's about never giving up, even when the odds are stacked against you. She even talked about how, during their Meteor Garden days, Dylan worked harder than anyone else on set. Shen said there were nights he barely slept because he was so worried about getting everything right. He wanted to prove that he deserved to be there, not just to the audience, but to himself. Imagine that, someone who became an overnight sensation was still sitting there, questioning his worth. And that's a message we all need to hear. Now, I want to pause for a second and say this, if you're watching this and you've ever felt like giving up, remember Dylan's story. Remember that even someone as successful as him once sat there thinking it was over, and look at him now. So don't give up. Your time is coming. But before we wrap up, there's one more thing Shen said that I can't stop thinking about. She said, if there's one thing Dylan taught me, it's that pain can either break you or build you. And he chose to let it build him. That line right there, it's everything. So, what do you guys think? Did this change the way you see Dylan Wang? Because for me, it absolutely did. I'll never look at his smile the same way again, not because it's fake, but because now I know how much strength it took to keep smiling through everything. Let me know your thoughts in the comments because I really want to hear what you think about Shen's revelation. And don't forget to like this video and share it with other fans because this story deserves to be heard. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that button because I've got so much more coming your way, updates, behind-the-scenes stories, everything you want to know about your favorite stars. Until next time, stay strong, stay inspired, and remember, even the brightest stars were once in the dark.